Good morning. It's Erica here from Me to You Paper Crafts, and today I'm coming to you with a delicious fun fold. Well, I shouldn't say delicious. It's not like it's made out of chocolate, but it is a very, very sweet fun fold. And I have seen this fun fold before, but I attended a Vancouver Island event with demonstrators from the north to south of Vancouver Island, and we had a full afternoon of creativity and we got to see some product presentations. It's our own mini on tour event, which we all love to put together. And we had a wonderful surprise gift. Sarah Douglas came on and she actually showed us how she makes 4 really, really simple cards using some new stuff from the annual catalog. So that went live yesterday. We're all very excited. I had already put in a pre-order, and I've just yesterday put in another order, and I'll be coming to you with lots of beautiful, interesting projects in the next few months and onwards. So here's the fun fold we made. This was thanks to a fellow demonstrator named Laura Buchler, and she made this card for us. So we all had the measurements, and we could use any stamp set we wanted, but I chose to use the same one that she was using just because I had it and it's brand new. It's called Beautiful Beauty of Friendship. It's a gorgeous new set, and it's now available. But I decided to sort of still continue with our May, until the end of May, our mini catalog is still going strong, and so I wanted to pull out a stamp set and some designer series paper to make my card with. But I just wanted to show you how this fun fold works. You basically flip it up and you get this pop out. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's just a beautiful, beautiful card, and believe it or not, it's very, very simple to make. Okay, so let's get started with that. So I'm going to show you, this is called Back to Back Blooms, and this set is designed as a 2 stamp, but rather than getting 2 individual stamps, what you do is you take the one stamp, which has the etched image on it, and you stamp it first, ink that up and stamp that, and then to get the inside coloring, you flip the stamp over. Okay, so this is completely flat now, and then you stamp this with ink and you stamp over it. So that's basically how this stamp set works. Okay, so it's a very, very interesting stamp set. So you see there's only one image for all of them, but you just flip them over to get the shaded image. It's a very, very cool, unique way of doing things. I think it makes the stamp set a little less expensive because they don't have to produce as many stamps. So back-to-back blooms, if you love to do flowers and you love to do sort of like a medley of flowers on your cardstock, or you love to do one-sheet wonders, it's really the great way to go. The other stamp set I'm bringing forward is Happy Thoughts. These 2 are going to be retiring in the new catalog. They will not be available after May 31st. So if you like what you see, I would advise you to pick these up. This is a great one. It's got Happy Thoughts. So it's got great all-round greetings. It's got thinking of you, happy birthday, thank you. I can't tell you how many times I've already used these for cards. And then there's some inside greetings to go along with it. So it's a great stamp set. This was actually designed by a $1 million achiever in the United States. So I'm going to be using the happy birthday stamp today. Now let me just show you the papers. Okay, this is called True Love. Let me take it out of the plastic here. This is called True Love. All right, so again, it's 12 sheets, and there is 2 of each design double-sided. Okay, so you've got these beautiful flowers on one side, okay, on 3 sheets. And then on the other side, you have these beautiful black and white geometric designs. Just a beautiful paper. It's just simple black and white. What I absolutely love about this paper when it's black and white is that you can color it. So look what I did. So as part of my card design, I took a piece of this one and I colored it with my blends. It just is absolutely stunning. I didn't do a lot of detail on here. I might today add a bit more of the dark. I decided to use the beautiful Magenta Madness. I just love this color. This was the In Colors that came out last year, and they're still going strong. So Magenta Madness, and then for the centers, I did a little bit of Crumb Cake, and the leaves I did not Old Olive, sorry. I did Mossy Meadow for the leaves. So I might come in with my darks today just to show you how I can give some more contrast to those flowers. But isn't that stunning? And you could color these any color you want. The other cool thing you can do with black and white is that you can take your brayer and you can just brayer over and make an ombre effect onto your paper, or you can spritz it with some color using our spritzers, or you could do some sponging as well with our brand new blender brushes. So that would be very cool. I mean, you could do these stripes, different colors of stripes going up. So much versatility with black and white. Okay, so True Love is the name of this paper. Back to Back Blooms is the name of the stamp set, and Happy Thoughts. I mean, this would just make these two stamp sets alone. You've got your florals, you've got your greetings, and you've got paper. So if you're a beginner stamper, this would be a great way to start. And then you could add a pack of our note cards and envelopes in white, and away you go. You could be creating. Very, very simple to do. Okay, so let's just put this paper aside, and I will show you the card. Okay, so I'm going to put this Be Happy on a block. Let's grab a block. Well, that's not quite big enough. Let's get a bigger block. I don't like my stamps to hang over the sides. That's not a good thing. Okay, there's my bigger block. And I might stamp the flower somewhere else. I'm not sure yet. All I got as far as yesterday was coloring this paper just to save some time. Okay, now I want to show you that if you take our blends come in two different colors, a light and a dark. And then I did this all with the light. So if you take the dark now, what you can do is use the lines in the flowers to your advantage. And so you're just going to brush up onto those lines. Okay. And then what you can do, what I like to do, is my method, is I like to then come in with the light color and just go over the dark and pull it up. Okay. Just to add a bit of dimension. So I might do this other little flower as well. So I started with the light, then I'm coming in with the dark. I'm just going to brush up like so. Then I'm going to come in with the light again. And again, brush up just to blend that color in. Okay, and you get some dimension on the flowers. Okay, so you could go through and you could do all of them. You could just go around and just do, you know, in the centers, just pull in a little dark. Like so. And then pull in your light again. And just sort of blend in those edges. Like so, just to get it a little bit darker. So I'm just going to go sort of like on these ones on the edge, just a little bit inside like that. Okay. Now, you could, because I did this yesterday and it dried, you know, I could just come in with the light again, because it will make it a little bit darker. You see that? And look how nicely this is blended in. You see, as it dries, it's just blended right in. So the lines that you've stroked out as it dries, they just blend in. And this designer series paper is a good quality weight. It's not too light, so it can withstand coloring. So you get the idea with this. I have to admit that blends are my absolute favorite coloring tool because they are truly beautiful. When you blend your colors, blending means that you're not having any lines, you know, in between your, you know, your color. The transitions are flawless. That's what I love about it. Okay, sometimes I can't even tell where I've done the flowers and where I haven't. So let's pull in the dark again here and see. Don't think that it's made that much of a difference. And you really don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have taken all these different courses to use these colors or these tools. So I'm almost done the coloring, but it will be worth it. That's why I decided to start these yesterday. So I will show you on this, now that I'm looking at it and it's drying, that having on the flowers where I did the darker color, see on this flower, I don't know if you can see that. See on this flower I did the darker color, and this one I did the darker color on here. And so it showed up a lot better. See this one here, when that dries, it's going to show up a lot better. Okay, you could do the same with the green. Take the dark mossy meadow and you could start doing inside the leaves. Yeah, no, that's olive, sorry. I want mossy meadow. So on the mossy meadow leaves, you could just sort of fan out from your spine just to darken that center. Just do some dark brush strokes in there. It helps to show that the leaves are concave, right? There you go. You see that? Just adds more depth. And I'm just going to add a bit of darkness to the one side of the stem. There you go. There's your coloring. Isn't it stunning? So just imagine this in all different colors, and you could do the multicolors too on one. All right, so let's pull out our pieces that I've got put together here. There's quite a few pieces to cut, and I will have all of the cutting measurements on the blog post, which will be linked down below. But I am starting with a basic white thick card base. That's how I'm going to start on this one. And because it's white as a card base, I don't really need an inside layer. So I'll pull back the other one. Excuse me, and you'll see that because the card base is the cinnamon cider, I did want this whisper white in the middle, or this basic white in the middle here. Okay, but on this one, because the card base is white, I don't need it. All right, so that's your card base, and so you've got a very thin layer of the pink. And actually, now that I think about it, I should have done this in the green, I think. I don't think I like the pink. So I might go and cut another piece of the Mossy Meadow, and let's see the difference that that makes. It's nice to have a choice. I don't know why I didn't think about that last night when I was prepping. I did pick out Mossy Meadow for the inside, so maybe I'll do the Mossy Meadow here as well. So I will be right back. So here's the Mossy Meadow. Let's have a look. Ooh, I think I like that better. The darker color in there. Yes, I think I like the Mossy Meadow better than the pink. So we'll keep this for another card. Okay, so I can go ahead and I can glue this down onto the mat. Now see how the blends, they do bleed through your papers, so make sure your work surface is protected when you use your blends. Now this is a very, very tight fit. It's 1/8 inches for a good tight fit. Hard to see on the mat, the silicone mat there. And there we go. And you can decide which direction you want your flowers on there. Okay, and this is going to fit onto the front of the card. See, it's got a bit of a 1/4 of an inch around there. You could also decide on this one, we did a bit of ribbon. So I could do a bit of ribbon on here, and then I could make my happy birthday greeting on a frame. Now there's lots of different dies that we have to create frames for your greetings. We have these are called Hippo Happiness. I bought these just for the dies to start with, and then I bought the stamp set afterwards. But this has got some interesting stitched shapes in here. Let's see if this one might fit. Let's first stamp this on some white, and then we'll cut this out. So let's get out my black ink this time. Let's ink this up. Okay. And let's make sure that this fits. I'm pretty sure it does. Yes, look at that. That's lovely. Okay, so I'm going to go and cut that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my greeting done. So let's just set these dies aside, get them out of the way. Okay, and then I need to decide if I wanted some ribbon. Now we have this lovely Mossy Meadow. This comes with the, this is in the Occasions catalog, okay? We've got this lovely green thread that I could put on here just to give it a bit of dimension. So I'll show you how I wrap it around. So what I do is I take my tape runner. This is the bottom of my card here. So I take my tape runner and I run my tape down the two sides like so. And then I take one end of my thread and then I start to wrap it. Now I don't know if I want a double layer or not, but you could. So I go a bit crooked, then I come back, and then I come back like so. So I've got two strands and it's a bit of a crisscross on there. I love that look. And then I just stick it down onto the tape. And then I trim it off, okay? Now, to make sure it stays secure, I'm a bit picky here. I put a piece of Scotch tape on there. Now, I think my husband has absconded with my Scotch tape. I remember him asking me the other night, oh, where's your Scotch tape? And of course, as per usual, he has not brought it back, okay? So we're gonna forego that step. But normally I will put Scotch tape on here, but this, our Stampin' Seal is very sticky, so I'm just going to push that down to make sure I get it into that adhesive there. Okay, so now I can finish putting a bit more tape on here, and then I will stick it to my card base. Okay. Now, sometimes you want to look at your cardstock, you know, after you've cut it and folded it. Sometimes it's not exactly even. Well, rather refold that. I just flip it over and make this the front, okay? So let's try and get a nice even border all the way around. Okay, so there is the front of our card, and then we're going to do our greeting on here, but we're going to put this on some dimensionals, and then we're going to concentrate on the inside of the card. Now, because I have this string or ribbon, you want to put your dimensionals on either side of it, not on top of it, okay? So we'll put these on like this. Pull these off. So this design on here, because of the beautifully colored flowers, I mean, that is really and truly all you need for this card. There you go. There's your happy birthday on there. Okay. Now we're going to work on the inside. The front side was pretty simple, but now we're going to work on the outside. All right. So what we need to do is we have this piece of, generally, like on this one, this piece was made from the same color cardstock as the card base, okay? But in this case, because I did white, I wanted something a bit more contrasting. So I've chosen to do the black. I'll show you how my layers are going to work. So I'm going to do black. And then I'm going to do some stamping on these white pieces. So I'm going to do another maybe greeting on the inside plus a flower on these pieces here. Okay, then these pieces I'm actually going to cut on the diagonal and glue them on the inside of these panels. So let's go ahead and do that first. So I'm going to pull in my trimmer. I cut these on the diagonal. Now, word of warning, when you are cutting on the diagonal, you don't want to pull the blade down over that point or up over that point, because it could sort of rip the paper. Okay, so what I do is I bring my blade to the center, then I go out, and then I can come back down again. Okay, because sometimes those points will just rumple right up. So again, put the blade towards the center, go up and then back down, and then you get beautiful cuts. Okay, so those are those cut and ready to go. Let me get rid of these little dimensionals on my table here. All right, and then we want to stamp our greeting. Well, let's wait. Let's do this fold first. You need to know how this works. All right, so this piece measures 5 by 5. Yeah, this is 5 by 5. So what you want to do is you're going to score this in half both sides. Okay, you're going to fold it in half at 2.5. So at 2.5, you're going to score this and then rotate it and score it again at 2.5. Like that. And then on one of them, you're going to score on the diagonal, just one side. So line up your points, and again with the score blade, come to the middle and score like that. Okay, but you're only doing one. So you have one horizontally, one vertically, and one diagonally. Okay? All right, now to make this nice and flexible, what you want to do is you want to burnish both sides. Okay, you want this to open really easily on your card or in your card. So I'm going to burnish one side. I'm going to fold it over. Let's get rid of this. fold it over and burnish on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to do the diagonal. I'm going to fold that. I'm going to fold it over. See how it's already flexible, which is what you want. It's already wanting to go into its shape, okay? And then what you want to do is I put my middle fingers underneath the diagonal folds, and as I fold it, you see, I push it in. So it's almost like a little fortune cookie. You're going to pull that in like that, and then it folds like that. Isn't that cool? So it's like a kite. It's kind of like a kite fold. Okay, so it's on these diagonal pieces that you are gluing these pieces in. Okay, so let's pull out our silicone mat. And I'm going to use Tombow for these because I have a bit of wiggle room for that. And I wanted the polka dots on here, the reverse of my paper. So I mostly concentrate on that center line when I'm gluing. Try not to put too much glue on. And put the glue not right on the edge because it'll smush out towards the edge. So put it more towards the middle. Oh geez, I'm getting glue everywhere. I normally use tweezers. Okay, we've got 2 more to go. So you can decorate this however you want. Once you have, for any card, any fold, fun fold, once you have that layout, let's pull this out of the way so I don't get glue everywhere. Once you have your basic layout, then you're good to go. Now, if you were really coordinated, you would have matched up these dots. Ha. I didn't. But you could think about that, right? Just take the 2, halves and match them up. If you had more of a pattern paper, like if this was the flowers, that would be the smart thing to do, is definitely match up your pattern. But I'm not doing it for this one. Okay, there are my 2 insides. All right, now we're ready to decide what we're doing. So as on this card, we have a bit of a greeting at the bottom, and then we've carried on the tree element on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to stamp a bigger flower, and you know what? I'm going to do it in black because the flowers on the front of the card, I'm going to leave that green out. I might do a couple of leaves around there because the flowers on the main part of the card are in black. So let's stamp this in black. Now on the diagonal, okay? Of course with this flower it wouldn't have mattered, but I'm going to do this on the diagonal. There we go. And I'm going to set that aside just to dry a little bit. Now I have to decide on an inside greeting. Now this stamp set of course doesn't have any greetings. That's why we've got this lovely thing. And I did a happy birthday on the outside. These are going to be way too big for the inside. Okay, so if you wanted to do a greeting on the inside, you could just hand write a greeting. You could do thinking of you though, happy birthday, if you're sending it for a distance maybe, or even in town, you haven't seen the people for a long time. You could say happy birthday, thinking of you. Yeah, let's just do that just because it fits, and just to save time for me hunting down another. I'm sure this will fit. Thinking of you. So I'm going to use my other white piece and we're going to do thinking of you. And I'm going to put this as close to the top as I can. I have to get my head right over it, ladies. Sorry. Ah, perfect. There you go. Okay, thinking of you. All right, so we can pull this back in and we can now color this. So let's pull in our Magenta Madness colors. Excuse me. Now, if you don't want to watch me color, you can always fast forward over the video, because it does take me a while, because I like to make sure that when I'm coloring, I am staying inside the lines. So what I do is I go around and I rotate the flower so that my marker is staying, you see, on the inside. In other words, I'm coloring where I can see it. Because if I try and color here, you see I'm kind of blinded by the pen and I can't see what I'm doing. So that's what I like to do. So I just sort of draw an outline there. And then I go around the other way. Okay, that's how I do it. Okay, so now it's time to rotate it the other way. See? So now I can see the other side of the flower. And then I'll come in and color everything. I mean, if you go outside the lines, it's not a big deal. A lot of art is actually purposefully done that way. Depends on the look you're going for. Okay, so now I'm just going to come in, and most of the time I color in little circles. I'm going to go right into the center here, except for the little black piece. Okay, and again, I will do the darker magenta in this center piece. I won't do any more than that because I think we've taken enough time coloring. But when you go to do your card, you might want to do, you know, take a bit more time. I'm just going to pull the color out in the edges like this. Just so that the center of the flower does look a bit darker. And then I pulled in Crumb Cake. I thought that was a good sort of neutral color. Was it Crumb Cake, or I think it was Gray Granite? And I just did that center bit. Okay. There we go. Now, let me think. We could do, these are cute little leaves here. I like these. We could do a few of these around the outside. Let's ink these up and maybe add a couple of leaves in here. These are very cute. And I like to do one, and then I like to do a couple more like that. Might do one. Nope, that's all I'm doing. Threes are, yeah, odd numbers you want. Okay, let's color these in. Okay, there is your flower. here's my greeting. Now, you could also add, there's this cute little, what else could I do on here? Sometimes I like to add, there's this little sprig here, might be kind of fun, just to put, might do this in the gray granite. Sometimes it's cool to actually have some stamping over your greeting. There we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's assemble now. All right, so what we'll do is we will layer these pieces onto our green. And again, I'm going to use Tombow glue, so I have some wiggle room. I'm going to take this off the mat because I can't see my edges very well. Okay, there's one. And here's the other one. Okay, let's pull back our center. Okay, and this is orienting this way. So you're going to do your greeting at the bottom. And your flower at the top. Now, wait, how do we want this flower here? I like it like that. Okay, there is our insert. Now, watch how easy it is to put inside the card. Okay, first step, locate your card. Here's my card. Then what you want to do is you want to fold it. Now, here's your greeting. This is going to go at the bottom. Okay, so you're going to fold your greeting up like this. All you're going to do is center it in the card. Okay, find your center point. You could mark it with a pencil. I'm just going to guess here. And you want to make sure you don't go over the bumpy score mark. Can you see that? There's a score mark here, a mountain fold, and you don't want to go over that. You're just coming to one side of it, okay? So what you want to do is flip this over and put your glue on it. And I would put a little bit more glue than you normally might. Okay, now make sure it's oriented the right way. There's my greeting. Okay, so all your open edges should be at the bottom. And I'm going to find my center. Glue all over my fingers. I can't see because of the silly light in my head. I'm going to have to change my adjustment here. And I'm going to just center that in my card. And you just hold it down. And then you put glue on the top. And you fold the top down. Look how easy that is. Simple. And hold it down for a few seconds. You want to make sure that it sticks. I'll just put a few stamp pads away, put my glue away, put my other glue away. Of course, might want to decorate an envelope afterwards. Okay, and voila, here's the front of your card. Open it up, and there's the inside of your card. Look at that! Isn't that the prettiest thing ever? So there's your fun fold for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Laura, for showing this to us last Saturday. I think it was a big hit, and I will definitely be making more of these. So look below this this video. There will be a link to my blog post with everything you need to know about making this card. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. Bye for now.